Hi friends! Okay, so today I'm going to be sharing these fun little reclaimed wood Christmas trees that you can hang a wreath on or string lights around, or on this one I have put some ornaments. You could even use this to hang your Christmas cards. They're just really fun. I thought I would just walk you through my process on how to recreate one of these. So I'm actually out of matching spindles. So for this one, I'm going to use some scrap 1x2 pieces and some wood molding that I have instead of the spindles and molding, but just because I'm out of spindles. The process will be the same. It'll just look slightly different. So actually do not use a ruler or measuring tape for this project. So first thing we're going to do is get your safety goggles on and your hearing protection, and we're going to get cutting. So I'm going to move the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we need 2 pieces to make the triangle of the tree. Okay, once this is cut, I want the ends to be at 15-degree angles so that when they are standing on the table or on the base, the tree base, they will be flat. So I'm going to move my saw. Degrees. Okay, so now that you'll see that they are going to sit flush on a table, but I now need this to go into the wood either side, and I figured out that the angle we want is 50 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and cut just the top of this one at 50 degrees. There we go. Okay, so now we see that this is going to be flush here, and now we're going to just cut this straight across so that we have an even top. So I'll go ahead and use my pencil to draw that line just so I know. It should be 15 degrees. Alrighty. Now we're going to cut the molding. Okay, so what I will be doing to cut this is I want the molding to be about 1 inch past the tree, the outside of the tree on either side, and at 15-degree angles, both at the top and at the base. So I'm actually going to cut the base first and then the top. And again, I'm just going to eyeball this and use my pencil to kind of mark this out. Okay. So I'm going to keep this angle just like it is and just do this side. For the base of the tree, which we want to have a base, I'll show you on this one. So as you can see, I have a base for this. It just kind of keeps it steady. So if you place this on a table, it's not going to be top heavy. It'll hold what you need. So to choose the size of your base, you just want to do, well, this is what I did. I just want something that's going to be about 1.5 inches longer than either side of the bottom piece of molding. So I found this scrap piece of oak that I have. It's actually almost exactly the size I want. I'm going to trim it up just a little bit. And I want to kind of give these a beveled edge, kind of a sloped edge. So I'm going to cut both sides. I'm going to cut 30 degrees off of both sides. That's going to be perfect. Okay, now on how I assemble and finish the trees. So the first thing you're going to do is assemble the top of your tree. So to do this, you can do it a couple of ways. You can use your brad nailer, or you can screw this, or you can just glue it, clamp it, and let it dry, and that should hold it just great. Yeah, gotta adjust the pressure here. There we go. Okay, 2 should do it. All right, so once we have the top done, so you can use this for the whole project or you can use screws. I kind of like the look of the screws showing through, but it's personal preference. I think for ease, I'm just gonna keep going with the brad nailer. Okay, let's go ahead and assemble your pieces of molding. I'm actually going to do the bottom first. And I do like to make sure that this is going to be in the right spot. So as I put it on the base, or you can use the table, I do want to make sure that this molding piece is flat on the table before I attach it. And while I have it turned this way, I'm going to go ahead and mark it. Just might help me line it up a little easier. Again, I'm just eyeballing this. It doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, once I get this nailed on, I will turn it around. Okay, so I did 2 on each side, and now I'm going to attach the top. And I do like to leave a little hole here in case I do want to hang some ribbon to do a little wreath. Okay, and now I just need to attach it to the base. So one thing I do to keep this a little bit easier is, let me turn it this way. I want my molding and my tree base to be basically centered on my base here. So I trace the feet. And then then I take this off and I mark an X right in the center. And then what I do, a tiny hole in the center of those X's. And I repeat on the other X. Okay, so instead of using the brad nailer to do the base, I'm going to use screws just so that it's more solid. Because we just want this to be able to hold things and not worry about it coming apart or tipping over. So, the holes that I drilled through, I'm going to turn over. And on the back side, I am going to use a spade drill. A spade bit, and I'm using a 1/2 inch spade bit, and I'm using this to, I'm going to be countersinking my screws so that the bottom can lay flush on the table. So I insert this pointy tip into the hole, and slowly I start drilling. And I really just want to go down like 1/8 of an inch. If you can see that, and I'm going to do that on both sides. Yeah, this is going to be good. Okay. So I'm going to feed these screws. These are 1 1/4 inch wood screws. And then I'm going to add glue to my feet, my tree feet.
Just over to check on something. They're right there.
Okay. Because I traced my tree base earlier, I can kind of get this lined up into the spot that I want it. Okay. Before I screw on the other side, I just want to make sure that's still lining up right. Looks good. Okay. Okay. So, as you can see, the screws are kind of hidden in here. And if you go deep enough, you can even put a plug in there, but I feel like I'm not going to do that because no one will ever see that. So it's fully assembled, and now we paint. Now because I used some scrap trim that I have that's already painted, I'm going to show you how I did that on this piece, and then we'll finish this whole thing. So for the finishing, you're going to need some petroleum jelly or Vaseline and paint. And I am using, this is actually not the paint that's in the can. So I love to use Habitat for Humanity's latex paint anytime I get. So one reason I love this is because it dries so fast. Like, we're gonna finish this as I'm recording. So we are going to apply Vaseline just kind of wherever the heck you want. There is no rhyme or reason to this. I like to get some of the edges. Okay. And once it's on there, so what's going to happen is when we paint over these Vaseline sections, those are going to not hold the paint, and it kind of helps give it that older, more rustic look. Okay, I think we're ready. And don't forget to do kind of the inside parts of your tree, if you like this look. All right. I also like to get my brushes from Habitat for Humanity when I can, when they have them in stock. And I like to use the natural bristle brushes. Again, just because it's not meant to look perfect, and I do appreciate that look. So we are just going to brush this on. It does not have to be perfect. Don't forget to get the edges of your piece. You can do MDF molding if that's what you can find. It will work great. A lot of the MDF will just come painted white. It's already white. And if you use that, I would go ahead and paint it anyway. Paint it the same color of white, or any color that you're using. But if you're doing it white, just so it's the same color. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. Missed a couple spots. And I'm getting some sawdust on that, so I'm gonna go ahead and blow this off. See if I have any air. Paint this little tree. Okay, so thankfully all I did was finish painting this, and then I painted this, and now we're letting this dry. It will be really fast. To wrap this up, we're gonna sand. And you can use just a piece of sandpaper if you have, if you want. I like to just fold my sandpaper in half and then kind of cup it in my hand. And if you're doing this with spindles, it works great to get on the legs of the spindles to give it kind of that weathered look. Okay, but I'm actually going to use my sander. So here we go. Okay, so I do like to get in to these curves with my hand if I can, and you'll kind of see where the Vaseline was the paint won't stick. So that's what gives it this like weathered, worn look. Okay, so let's finish this tree. Now I've sanded this baby. It's looking really good. Okay, I want to wipe it off, or in this case, I'm gonna blow it off. And then I will want to take just a damp cloth to kind of wipe down any dust or paint dust or sawdust. Okay, once this is done, I need to seal it. This is my favorite little sealer for indoor home decor pieces. It's Rust-Oleum's matte clear enamel, and it's awesome. If I were gonna put this outside, I would probably finish it with something a little bit more heavy duty, like this is one of my favorites, Minwax's polyacrylic, and I would do a couple coats of that if I were to be putting one of these outside somewhere. Okay, I am not committed to this yet, but we're just gonna go with it, and if it looks weird, it looks weird. But I'm gonna hang a couple of ornaments here, and this would be a really fun way to display like one special ornament on a smaller tree like this. Or you can do whatever you like with it, but we're gonna try this. Okay. So I've got some cute red and white striped ribbon. Oh, actually, I think what I'll do is I'll attach the ornaments together with this green wire garland. I got this from Joann's. Okay, so I'm gonna push that through the loops with both of the ornaments. I'll give it a twist. And then you can use a pencil or whatever you have, but I'm going to twist the ends of my garland on this just to kind of give it a curly look. All right, let's see what we've got so far. So I take my ribbon and I'm going to feed it through this little hole. And then loop through. Okay. And I'm going to do my bow instead of down here. I'm going to do my bow so it's kind of centered here. One thing I could do is glue, put a little dab of hot glue behind the knot just to kind of keep it nice and centered there. This gives you the idea. Wow. All right. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.